Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Mark?
Yep. How's it going, man? Good.
What up, dude? Good, yeah.
Right on, right on. We did this interview before, right? This is
Yeah.
yeah, good. How you been, man?
Good. Amoroso. I think we're cousins.
That's right. I remember now. Yeah. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I went back east for the first time in like 20 years.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Where'd you go?
We went to Cleveland. We had some business in Cleveland, and then drove across Pennsylvania and went to New York City.
Oh, there you
Went
go.
to New York. It was good, man. It was hot. It was good, and then it rained out of nowhere. It was literally the best trip of my life.
Oh, that's awesome. Where you're out in California again?
Yeah, back in California.
Wow. It's a distance. Yep.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was the best experience of my life.
Nice. Well, man. Glad to hear it.
But you, man, how are you? You're doing
Excellent,
some
man.
awesome shit.
Yeah. I'm on tour right now with my buddies in Whiskey Dick, and we're going all over the states. About 2 weeks out here, so I've been going nonstop since February, man.
Oh shit. How is the touring? I mean, is this, we got out of COVID, and I know that's super controversial, and you're obviously hitting the states that are open. How does it look out there?
I mean, dude, honestly, I've been out since February, and everything's been fine, man. I think everyone's got their opinion about what's going on, but I've been fine, dude. In the beginning, I was trying to be safe, masks and all that, but halfway through touring in March, I saw things were cool, man. People wanted shows, and I just hit all the states that were open and where it was not an issue.
Yeah. And so when you're out there and you're touring, I know you're a guy who likes to take care of his body, values his health. Is there any like supplements you're taking, or extra vitamins, or extra workouts that you're doing?
I'll tell you, actually, man, good question. Actually, I really swear by drinking apple cider vinegar. I take this stuff like every single day. I'm not a doctor, I don't know how it affects as far as, with COVID, but from my experience, I swear by it. There's so many good health benefits of it. So yes, I try to drink apple cider vinegar every single day. That's my, that's one of my core, my health regimen, is that.
How much of it do you drink?
I do about 2 or 3 shots a day. That's really been my thing, and, yeah, I swear by it, man. I've had great results with it, and honestly, knock on wood, man, I've been healthy these last 2.5 years, man. I was probably the last time I came down with any sort of kind of little cold or anything like that. So, thank God.
Is that a new thing? I mean, you've traveled. I mean, you're very, very traveled. You've been everywhere. Is that a new thing, and does that help you just with everything in general?
Sure, I'll tell you, I've been drinking it for about 10 years, and I discovered it. I just get strep throat pretty often. I had to get my tonsils out, which I never did. So I just Googled about 10 years ago what's a natural remedy, because I love all the natural remedies for stuff, vitamins and stuff, and discovered apple cider vinegar. And I'll tell you, man, since I've been drinking apple cider vinegar, I don't get strep throat anymore. It's really been an incredible cure. So, not a cure, but a help.
Preventative.
Yeah. So that's been I give all my buddies that are on tour, I always tell them, drink apple cider vinegar every day. Trust me.
Fucking A, dude. I'm gonna start doing it. I used to do it, but it makes me buzz in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, it really wakes me up, and it's better than coffee.
Well, it's absolutely disgusting. It tastes horrible.
I know, that's
and it kind of gives you a little, like a little jolt, because it hits your system, and you can feel it burning, which I'm assuming it's killing bad bacteria in you, and it just kind of wakes you up. Yeah, that's true.
Dope. Well, we have Hail the Horns. That's one. You are just doing everything right now. And especially after the 2020 year, you have just said, fuck this, I'm all in. Hail the Horns is a awesome project from the outside. You guys put out a single, God of Thunder. I'm not a huge Kiss fan, but I have to say that God of Thunder is my favorite Kiss song if I had to pick one.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm really not a big Kiss fan either, but I do like God of Thunder, and Tony and Opus, the other guys in the band, they love Kiss, so, I kind of, just went with it because they love the song. But I think we did a great version of it, but we will be releasing some new originals that I promise will be really heavy stuff, and the fans are really going to like it. We're really going to move forward with that project. And then I also have my other death metal project called Revenge Beast. So I'm busy, man. I'm constantly hustling, recording, touring. Like I said, I've been on the road since February doing my solo project. So there's been no break for me, really.
And what I would like to do is I would like to ask you, I would like to ask you things about Revenge Beast and Hail the Horns, and have two separate articles.
Okay, cool.
So if you see me bouncing back and forth, that's what I'm trying to craft together.
Okay.
Who would have thought, like I didn't, and maybe it's naive of me, that Tony could sing like that or kill it the way he is.
Exactly. Tony was sang in Assassino, and he always did backup vocals when he was in Soulfly with me. But it was always more death metal. But he's been working on his singing voice, and I'll tell you, man, the guy's got a great voice. He can hit notes, sing melodically. He's in key. He's been working hard at it, and it really showcases, and it's going to Hail the Horns. So yeah, I'm really excited about it, man. I think Tony's going to be an excellent front man. He's a great dude, great bass player. So we're excited, man. I think Hail the Horns is gonna make a lot of noise this year.
You had a rough year in 2020.
Yeah.
Hail the Horns, how does that come into play? And what is the timeline? March, you leave Mexico off tour. You don't hear from the boys for a while of Soulfly.
Sure.
And then at what point do you say, all right, fuck, I need to do something? At what point do you hulk up and say, I'm in control of my shit, and let's go fucking get this?
Sure. Yeah, like I've been talking about in my interviews lately, basically 6 months of sitting home. Well, not sitting home, but 6 months. Within 6 months, I had to get a day job. I had no contact with anyone really with Soulfly, what the plan was going to be. No sort of, make a new record at that point. Maybe do some merchandise deals online, live feeds or something to generate money. So it was definitely just I'm on my own, which is fine. It's cool with me. So yeah, 6 months into COVID, I was like, I don't even want to do Soulfly anymore, man. It's just done for me, especially the way things were mishandled during COVID with the band. So, Tony and I have always talked about doing Hail the Horns. So this was something we've been talking about doing even when he was in Soulfly with me 5 years ago. So now was the time to move forward with it, and that's what we're doing, and I think it's a perfect project for all the fans that know Tony from being in Soulfly with me, plus Static X, and he's a world-renowned bass player who's played with everybody, sought-after bass player. So I think us coming together, also with Opus on drums, man, this is going to be a real special project that will definitely be for the fans, So we're excited.
In your separation from Soulfly, was it more of was it sort of like, here's your watch at the end of a 20-year career, have a good day? Or is it more like, every man for themselves, we'll talk after it's over?
It was
either way.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it definitely was every man for themselves. That's the vibe I got the minute we got home from our last show together in Mexico, again, there was just, Soulfly had released a live record that I played probably 95% of the guitar on that live record, live in New York at the Gramercy, and, I didn't see a dime off that record. So, it definitely was an every man for themselves type of vibe, and that's fine, I hustled, I went and got a day job. I'm glad I didn't take any of these loans out that some people took out, and I just hustled and made my way. So we're moving forward, and I'm excited. You know, this is all positive stuff. I'm glad everything went down the way it did.
It makes me fucking love you that much more to hear this story.
Well, thank you.
On some real shit, like, you're like a person, like, I would love my son to, like, look at this dude. This guy knows what's up. He knows how to hustle, and it's a good lesson to teach everybody in the world. Like, you, especially in the time, and this is a controversial statement I'm going to make, but no one has to agree with it. But in a time where it feels like everybody is more inclined to be a victim than to be a fucking savior of their own life, I think that is something you did, and that's a great lesson to teach people. And I'm fucking proud of you. And I know it must have been hurt. You must have been hurt and fucking had a rough time, but you're making it out.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, obviously everyone had a rough year, you know, and I'm not looking for sympathy at all, man. It's like, again, I went and got a job. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say my feelings were hurt and this was hurt, and I mean, I went and got a job. I got up every morning like I grew up doing before I started touring. You know, 6 a.m, busting my ass, working hard. And I was very grateful that my friend gave me a job, and I hustled. And then my good friend Nick Bell from God Size Booking, he was like, look, man, I'll get you to the states that are open, you know. And so he got me over to Montana and Florida, Texas, and we've just been going with my solo project nonstop, you know, during this whole situation. And I'm glad, you know, I'm happy I was one of the first guys to say enough of this, man. I'm hitting the road, and I'm getting out there playing for the fans that do feel comfortable with going out to shows right now. And that's what I did, you know, and it worked out, you know. Everything worked out for the best for me.
How is that tour, like that solo tour, and I'm imagining probably smaller venues at this time,
sure.
You know, bars or convention centers. Like, what is that like? Like,
it was. Yep.
Go ahead.
So it was just me. It was me by myself, because when I do my solo project, I play with a backing track. You know, it's kind of like a guitar clinic type thing, but I make it a party. And it was just me by myself playing guitar with a backing track, traveling alone for the most part. So it's probably for people that were concerned about safety and my safety. I mean, it was as safe as you're going to get. I mean, it was just me, like in a small car or a van with maybe one other person or by myself. Me getting on planes by myself, flying out, you know, staying at hotels by myself, and yes, just playing like small bars, man. You know, I mean, if 50 people showed up, that's a great show. I'm not asking for an astronomical amount of money for my solo gigs. I make it affordable for all the club owners and promoters. So honestly, my solo project right now and these last couple months was perfect for the situation that was going on. Because I'm not raping promoters, you know, out of money for some ridiculous guarantee like some bands do. I made it very affordable for the promoters, affordable ticket prices for the fans, and I still walk away winning. So everything worked out for the best for me during the situation.
Sick. When you know, so you guys were always talking about Hail the Horns and then to do this God of Thunder song, was that the first song you guys worked on, or is that the first song you guys just put out?
It was just the first song that we got on to do, because the thing with Hail the Horns is that we're going to start off doing a lot of covers, specifically from bands that we're all known for. So that means, yes, we will play Soulfly. We'll probably play some Static X, you know, some Ministry. Tony played with Ministry, Prong, and everything Tony's known for, everything I'm known for, we're going to throw into the set list, and then some. We'll do some Pantera, Slayer, you know, all classic metal stuff. And it was just, you know, these guys are big Kiss fans, so we said, let's do God of Thunder first. It was easy for us. Again, maybe it wasn't the best choice because I'm not the biggest Kiss fan. But you know what, man? I think it showcases Tony's great vocals, and I think we did a great version of it. And I promise we're gonna do some super heavy stuff very soon.
Does that make you excited? Like when you are like, you know, looking at Tony's background and the bands he's been in, and like, fuck, we're gonna probably be able to do one of those songs, or a couple of these songs.
Sure.
Is there any song specific that makes you like, oh, that you haven't jumped into yet, or you guys haven't jumped into, that you really are anxious about and curious
I'll
to do?
tell you, right off the top of my head, I promise we're going to be playing a lot of Soulfly songs that I had a major part in the making of, and that we never really played with Soulfly. There's a lot of songs off those records from the last 10 years that I was part of that we just never put in the set list. And we will be putting those songs in set list, specifically a lot of songs from the records that me and Tony played on together, from Savages to Enslaved, and Archangel. So, it's going to be, I think the fans, this is a win-win situation, especially if you're a fan and you saw Tony and me back in those days, playing with Soulfly together. We had a great chemistry on stage together and off stage. Me and Tony were infamous for going out and partying with the fans and just getting into trouble and having a good time, So, fans that have ever hung out with us, they know that, and they're stoked for Hail the Horns.
And Tony's a great guy too. Like, as a fan,
sure.
I've had a couple of times I was able to sit down with him, and just the way he describes things, and he really puts me in the spot to write a real good article, as well as just being super respectful and just an amazing person.
Yeah, he's the real deal, man. The guy goes up there. Every show I've ever played with him, every record, he gives 100%. He shreds on bass. He's one of these guys that I don't have to show him the riffs. He always shows up prepared. A lot of guys I've worked with in the past, they don't do that. Like, they'll show up to band practice not knowing things, and Tony's one of these guys that he knows the whole set. He's ready to rock, man. I don't ever got to worry about that guy, man. He's always ready to kick ass on stage.
Are you guys all up there in that area in the Northeast?
No. Tony's from LA.
He is from
LA. I'm from Jersey, and Opus lives in Connecticut, so we're closer.
All right, so what is the path that we're about to go down for Hail the Horns? What does the next 2 to 6 months look like?
So November, we plan on doing a short little mini tour. I think it's about 2 weeks around the Midwest, East Coast.
Midwest. And
so we're looking forward to that. We're gonna get out there and just fucking shred and put on a great show, hang out with everybody. We're making a point of hanging out after the shows. There's no bullshit paid meet and greet crap. That does not belong in metal, in my opinion. So it's just gonna be a good time hanging out.
I love that you said that, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
On this level, there's if you got 10 people waiting outside your bus, you can come out and say hello. You know what I'm saying? You can come out and say hello, and that's what we're all about. We're going to be for the people and hang with the people. So it's going to be a really good time, and the fans know what I'm talking about. They can't wait for it too. So yeah, we're going to hit the road in November, and we're just going to be jumping back and forth, between me doing my solo project and when Tony's available, Hail the Horns. So it's just that's what this year is going to look like, and the following years, just me bouncing back and forth. Touring with Hail the Horns and my solo project.
When you were off, in 2020, when you're trying to figure shit out, were you getting any other offers for like, hey, what are you doing, or any inquiries from anybody, and your friends, or just to do something creative? Yeah,
I mean, things here and there. I was doing a lot of collaborations, honestly. Like live video feeds. I did a couple different things like that. You would think we would have done something like that with Soulfly. The whole time I was home during COVID, I was watching those Sepultura Quarter. It was called Sepultura, I think they called it, where they were, at home and linking up together online and doing these live feeds. And it was brilliant. It was very professional the way they did that. I'm sure it generated money on YouTube. And now I heard that the Sepultura is putting out all those live things on record to sell now, so they took a negative situation like COVID and being home, and they made it very positive by doing that. And I was very, very, very inspired by Sepultura, how they did that. It was genius how they linked up and did that. That was something we never did with Soulfly. We didn't do anything like that to try to generate money for the band members, But I was trying to do something like that on my own. I was linking up with friends and doing a lot of guest solos. doing a lot of, video quick link ups with people trying to put out some cover songs, originals, and I also was recording my new solo record. So yeah, I was very busy. Just writing.
Busy, huh?
Yeah, just going nonstop,
That's fucking awesome, dude. And that's just fucking great. And Sepultura is awesome too. They even reached out to me. Derek did.
Hey.
And we're gonna do this. We're putting together because Derek's doing that eating in different places thing.
Yeah.
And then we're also he's doing an episode of something we're in production with called Drinks with Friends, where he comes in and we make a drink and we sit down and just talk at like one of the bars in LA.
That's cool.
Until Gavin Newsom tells us to go fuck off again. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I can't say enough good things of what they did during COVID. How they did these live jams together, man. It was very entertaining, and again, I was very much impressed how professional they put that together, and it looked like a great way to raise money for the band and for the crew. I'm sure that they got. So I commend them. It's pretty cool.
Well, let's talk about Revenge Beast.
Yeah.
What is Revenge Beast for people that might not know?
So Revenge Beast is basically, this is another project that I started while home for the first 6-7 months with during COVID, not with, and because I never caught it, thank God. And it was with my good friends from a band called Purgatory Earth that I produced out of Baltimore a couple of years ago. And basically, we just were like, hey man, I started sending them riffs and we kept sending ideas back and forth, and we basically have recorded a full record of like super heavy death metal shit that we're going to release later in the year with my good friend. So it's going to be awesome, man. Revenge Beast is just going to be just straight up heavy old school death metal. Super technical, heavy, a lot of solos, real growly vocals. Our singer Jason's got this incredible voice for death metal, and his lyrics are really awesome, man. Like he does a lot of soul searching in his lyrics. They're very insightful. So it's a really cool project that I think the metal community is going to really, really dig this project too. So. And
what what group of friends is this? Is this a group of friends that you've known forever? Or,
these are actually friends of mine that I met after a Soulfly show. Anyone that knows me knows that when I'm done playing the show, man, I just go to the bar, hang out, kick it with all the fans. And these were actually fans that came to the Soulfly show, and we just started talking. And they're in Baltimore, I'm in Jersey, so it's not that far. And they actually booked me at some club in Baltimore, and their band opened up for me, and we just became friends after a Soulfly concert. We kept in touch, and then like maybe a year or two later, they asked me to produce their band, Purgatory Earth. So I came down to Baltimore for about 2 weeks and produced their band, and then that just spawned a friendship and the idea of, hey, let's start a side project together. So that's how Revenge Beast started. So it's actually kind of funny. They were just really fans at a Soulfly show, and we just met after the show at the bar, and that's it. It was as simple as that.
You're a great man, dude. You're a fucking great dude.
I try to make listen, I'm accessible after these shows. I can't do the whole like not be around fans. I can't do that. I like to be social. I like to meet people, hang out, and to hang out and talk about music. I could do that for hours. So. That's just me, though.
Yeah. And what does the next 6 months look like for Revenge Beast?
So we're going to finish up. We're almost done with a 8 or 9 song record. So we're going to finish up recording, and we're going to release the record probably on God Size, the label that's putting out Hail the Horns. So we'll probably put that out with Nick Bell over there too, and we'll just probably eventually get out there and see if we can do some touring too and some shows. Because we definitely want to be all about the live show. So probably within 6 months we'll finish our record, and then we'll probably do a record release party, probably down in Baltimore. So everybody just follow us on all my social media and on Revenge Beast social media.
My man. All right, I got one last question. It's not a music question, but do you know who Brock Lesnar is?
Sure, of course.
Okay. So my question to you is, who would win, 6 Brock Lesnars or 1 silverback gorilla?
Definitely a silverback gorilla, man. Gorillas and they're vicious, bro. From what I've heard, I've watched some documentaries, man. The strength on those things are insane, and they're absolute savages, man. They bite, they'll rip your limbs apart, they'll freaking bite your hand off, rip your eyes out. They're fucking savages, man.
They are. How many Brock Lesnars do you think it would take to fuck up a gorilla?
I don't know, man. They better bring a gun. Maybe. From what I heard, Brock Lesnar's a big hunter, so I'm sure with him with a gun, he'll do pretty good around gorillas.
My man, hey, I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for being you and being a great example and role model for people. And
thank you.
And I'm glad you know your worth. You knew your worth, and you know how special you are. And
thank you.
Anyone that doesn't believe in that, that's not on you. That's on them.
Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And good luck with everything. And I'm always here in the distance, rooting you on, buddy.
Right on, bro. Thank you, man. We'll keep in touch, man. You got my number.
All right, will do. Have a good one.
All right, man. Thanks, dude.
Bye.
Later.